actually, I'm going to speak more from the industry perspective because I've been involved in this gems and jewelry industry for over 25 years now, and having worked for De Beers for 14 years, where we created brands like Nakshatra, which is one of the super brands of this industry. And then having worked as consultant to this industry, and also now developing my own brand, which is Silvostyle. So I have seen a long journey in this industry. Just to give a little background about this, this industry is I personally feel it's perhaps the oldest, because women love jewelry, and right from the days of Adam and Eve. So that's where I think this the oldest industry and oldest business which has been existing. Also, the fact is that in India, it is huge. It is 500,000 crores. So it's a huge industry. It is the second largest foreign exchange earner, the gems and jewelry, primarily the diamond cutting and polishing. It is growing at a phenomenal pace. Having said that, yes, last 1.5 years have been very, very tough for this industry because of the restrictions the government has imposed on gold import. But otherwise, it has been growing at about 18 to 20%, which is a huge phenomenal growth on a large base like 500,000 crores. So it's growing and expanding. There are 300,000 retailers across the country who are dealing in gems and jewelry, primarily into gold jewelry. And it is now opening up for other metals like silver as well as for diamond jewelry. So the whole scenario is changing. And what is interesting is, the joke that goes around in this industry, or used to go around in this industry, was if you have 4 sons, only then you can expand, because then you can have 4 showrooms. So if you need 20 showrooms, so you need to have 20 sons. And that's the joke that used to go around in this industry. But I think thanks to corporates like Tanishq, that is Tata's and Reliance, and even other entrepreneurs like Kalyan Jewelers, Malabar Jewelers, so a lot of things are changing. It's getting more corporatized. More and more professionals are getting into this industry, which is, I personally remember about almost 15 years ago, I had made a presentation in IIM Ahmedabad with the hope that some of the professionals will join this industry, because this was always seen as a family business, and the outsiders were never allowed. And when I made the presentation, they loved the presentation. Then they thought that the industry has phenomenal potential. But the fact of the matter still remained that, is there a career path? Because finally, I may join as a management trainee today, but maybe 10 years down the road, can I be the managing director? Can I be the chairman of that company? The answer then was no. But today, it has changed. Over the last 15 years, I think a lot of things have changed in this industry. This industry is more open to welcoming more entrepreneurs. So any of you who is interested in joining this industry, I think this industry will be more than happy to rope you in. And there are a lot of different opportunities coming in. Quickly, just to tell you how you can actually be part of this industry and what you really need to do, I think it's the disruptive factor that comes in really handy, because the world is changing very fast, and we talked about the information being available on internet, and there is a launch of a product across the world, and you get that information the next morning. So the fact of the matter remains that the digital world has changed everything. And to that extent, our industry, that is gems and jewelry industry, needs to catch up. And there are these disruptive elements. There has to be a distinctive element that you need to offer to the consumers. Only then the consumers are going to get interested. So there are 7, 8 different parameters on which this industry operates. And I think that's where, if you get into this industry, you need to look into. The first and the foremost, of course, is trust. Building the trust. And why does this happen is also because a lot of people don't understand anything about gold and diamonds. As a consumer, you hardly know anything about diamonds, or hardly know anything about gold, or even silver for that matter. You just assume that you know about gold, but the reality is you still don't know. I mean, looking at a metal, you won't know whether it's 18 carats or 20 carats or 24 carats. So that's where it gets into trusting your family jeweler, or trusting a particular brand. And if you are planning to get into this industry, I think the best way is to educate the consumer, because the moment you are open to educating the consumer is where you can build the trust in your own brand. And I think that's what changes the perception of a consumer, to trust. The second is also the design. Every woman needs a distinctive design. They don't want anything that is, the next door woman is also going to wear. So that's where the creativity is extremely important. And, a lot of brands actually thrive on that. But also, having said that, there are other brands like Cartier or Tiffany's. They have done it in a different way. They have their disruptive elements maybe in their marketing. So that's on the design side. Yes, there have been, even Nakshatra for that matter, the way we had built it, it is a 500-year-old design. It's just a floral pattern. There was nothing new to it. But the way it was marketed is what the disruptive element from the marketing perspective. Then comes the range, the product range. And for the product range is where I suggest is that a lot of companies today and worldwide are open to have tie-ups. They are open to have brands coming into India. And Gitanjali is one of the examples that comes to my mind, who has tied up with various different brands and who have brought so many different brands into the country. And that's what enhances your product range. So you need your product range in place. Then comes the quality. Because finally, it's the quality that matters to a woman, and that also brings us to the touch and feel. Unless you touch and actually wear the jewelry, try it on, you don't get that feel for the jewelry. And that's the place where your quality has to speak volumes, and which is the element that one needs to bring it in. I think marketing and service is the other big element. When I say marketing, now, the very peculiar thing about this industry is, as I always say, that no woman needs a diamond, but every woman wants one. So what it means is actually there is no inherent need for the product, but it's just that you have to market it so well that finally everyone actually wants one. And that's the challenge that you face in this industry. So you have to make your product so interesting. You have to market it in such a way. And the best way to market it is where you have to involve the consumer. If you remember the early days of Nakshatra, which is one of the topmost brands in this industry, is also where a lot of consumers were involved in the marketing in the form of a contest, in the form of try-ons, in the form of test drive. If you can have a test drive in automobiles, why can't you have test drive your jewelry? So a lot of involvement was taken of most of the consumers. So marketing and service is something, again, it is the after-sales service which matters a lot, because that's, again, building the confidence, that's building the trust, which is the foremost that a consumer needs to come to a particular family jeweler. And then I think finally is the relationship. It's how you develop that relationship. And that's where, many a time, as in the olden days, it was all one-to-one relationship of the owner, which was important. And that's where the consumers would usually go and meet only the owner. Today, again, the times are changing. And to do that and to get into a sort of a franchisee business is the systems that help you there. And the systems is something which needs to be absolutely robust. And I think the best way to get into this industry is to tie up with the existing brand, which is willing to tie up or is now expanding and has a good marketing budget and also good brand presence. I know even brands like De Beers Forever Mark or World Gold Council or even Rio Tinto, they are willing to tie up with some new entrepreneurs and give them the marketing support that they need. For example, Rio Tinto is doing for Nazrana, or World Gold Counseling is doing for Azwa. So these are the brands where, even if you don't understand the product or even if you don't understand the marketing part of it, these organizations, which are the world-renowned organizations, so they are very particular about their products, they are very particular about their marketing. So that's an easy route to get into this industry. So in case any of you have any questions on that, I'll be more than happy, post this session to give you further insights into it. Thank you.